Welcome to episode number 122 of the BEBC
BS
Podcast on August 31st.
Come to you from sunny East Side.
And we have a visitor with us today.
We do.
We do. We have one of our long-lost members has found his way back home. The prodigal son has returned.
Daddy.
Welcome, Alan.
Thank you.
Show everybody your shirt, Alan. Everybody's got to see where you went to school. Harvard Law.
Just in and out in.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does this chair feel fat? This chair feels very fat to me. Who usually sits here?
It doesn't make you look fat.
It's a stretched out chair.
It's very stretched out.
Yeah, it's like your father's recliner.
Yeah, the arms are like going out diagonally.
Stains everywhere.
Enough stains.
Yeah, don't sniff the seat.
I had to put a chamois on the seat.
Well, welcome to the table, sir. Glad you
It's good to be out west here.
It was fun.
East, I said.
Be in
It
town
was fun.
for a game that we will talk about here in a minute. First, we're going to talk about the 122nd game in the history of Allen football. Again, we're back in 1972.
Take a ride in the Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. It'll be like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah. Or Sherman and
yeah, but they went to
Mr.
time periods
Peabody.
they hadn't been to before.
Oh, that's true. Well, you hadn't
There
been
you
to 72, so.
I'm the only one here who hasn't.
Oh, what a great year.
You didn't miss a ton of stuff.
So, if you remember from last week, Allen beat Howe 28-6 to go to 3-2 on the year. And then, I don't know if they traveled to Royce City.
All the way down there.
Yeah, who actually Plano East played last night. Because Royce City is now
they're
6A.
growing. Wow.
Yeah, so Plano
Yeah,
East.
they were originally going to be on our...
Yeah,
That
there
was
were
just
some
a skid mark on the map.
There were some prognosticators who thought Royce City might be in our district. So that was...
Yeah, just right next to Nevada, and
Yep.
you're past it.
So Royce City...
Gosh, Royce City in our district.
Allen goes into Royce City, or Royce City comes to Allen, whichever. Someone who was there might be able to tell us. And they beat Royce City 20-3.
Wow.
Wow, they scored 20.
They may have completed more than one or two passes.
You know, the last 4 games of this season that we've seen so far, they've given up 7, 6, 6, and 3. Look at the defense in
Defense.
I know.
1972.
Pretty stout.
So that's through 6 games, and they've only given up... Oh, it doesn't have points on here. I'd have to add them up. Anyhow, they go to 4-2 on the year. So congratulations to the 1972 Eagles, the 122nd game. The 122nd victory in the history of Allen Eagle football.
We're still in the 80s?
And, yeah, 1980. In fact, the first game of 1983. Last week, remember, they beat Dallas Lincoln 10-8 to get their 121st victory. They opened up the 1983 season against Midlothian, who Cedar, actually next week's opponent, Cedar Hill, played last night.
Okay.
40-7. Allen starts the season with a 19-7 victory over Midlothian for their 122nd victory. So, congratulations to them. You know, it's interesting. I'm going to say this just because it's interesting. 1983, the team ends up going 10-1. They're undefeated in the regular season, lose the playoff game.
That had to feel pretty good.
1984, they went 1-9.
Oh, wow.
Give you a little preview of what's to come, folks. That's brutal. To go from 10, wow.
Talk about graduating all your talent.
They must have.
really.
That was brutal. So 19, congratulations to a season opening victory. Speaking of season opening victories,
Bada bing, bada boom.
A shellacking.
did
Man.
anybody see this coming?
I did.
Not to this.
That's
this
why I
extent.
came down.
Oh, you saw it coming?
Their coach didn't.
No, their coach really
Yeah,
didn't.
because he's telling Wig that he expects coming up here and
He was
win.
scheming. Yeah, he's been planning for the Allen game.
He told our coaching staff, Coach Hartman, who's the Midland Legacy coach, told our coaching staff that they didn't even start, right after the loss in the playoffs last year, that they started planning because they could figure out, they knew what they did wrong.
Yeah. They're going to clean it up.
And they were going to figure it out.
They got a new quarterback. That's a little bit tough because, as you saw in the rushing, it was a struggle for him to kind of plow forward. He was protecting and kind of ducking down and being timid. You can't. It's not a way to success.
Unlike what Brady did to that guy in the end zone last night.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was on an extra point play, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. Rolls out there, bam.
It's hard to run the read option when your quarterback doesn't want to be hit, is the way I look at it. I mean, because it was very obvious that he did not want to lower his shoulder or go for the extra yard. He did a lot of sliding, and he did a lot of cringing. I guess that's a word.
Well, maybe that's one of the things that you got to overcome, because you could tell he's thinking. When he's cringing, maybe it's just a natural reaction. But when you start thinking about it, you're anticipating getting hit. You can't do that.
Well, and he's obviously played probably JV ball and how long. So he's run the ball before. But you just look at it and say, okay, this is your first time starting on varsity. You know,
Allen's
how much
defense
you
is
played,
intimidating,
and he hadn't been hit all spring, and he hadn't been hit during the scrimmages.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Bricker comes in.
They limit all contact pretty much.
Having played a season of ball.
Yeah.
You know, he broke his collarbone being aggressive.
That's what worried me about ducking his head last night. I was going, oh no.
Yeah, you know his mama was going, don't do it, but he did.
Slide.
We love that about Brady. He's a competitor, and he wants to
He
win.
balled out, man. He balled out.
There was a lot of people that balled out.
Yeah.
We'll have Coach Wig on here in about 5 minutes, and we'll get into that. But
yeah, we need to work up that chant. He's a freshman.
there was a lot of different players on the field last night.
Lots.
They spread it around for sure,
which was cool to see. And the results, again, I don't think anybody predicted a score like this. No one predicted a shutout. I don't care anybody that predicted a shutout was lying.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't see it.
Their pants are on fire.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Just a really, really crisp, for the most part, performance. And we'll get into the stats and everything after we talk to Wig, because there's a lot to get through there. But just, you couldn't ask for a better start to a season.
Yeah, I think there was only 2 times our kicker didn't get it into the end zone, which was awesome.
Well, one he was kicking from the 25-yard line.
Penalized,
Yeah.
And so we had talked to Ethan before the game, and we said, everyone's in the end zone, right? He goes, yes, sir. And, he was perfect on extra point kicks, too. So congrats to Ethan for having a good night as well. It makes it really cool to have your kicker drop it in the end zone. What was that?
And at least twice he, oh my gosh. At least twice Midland Lee runs it out of the end zone, and they do that funky thing that Coppell and I guess some Odessa Permian maybe did, where they do a little crossover on the two deep receivers. Yeah, it worked the first time, but
And they were like, that worked too well. We can't do it ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they just kept letting the ball go.
What did you say about them kicking off at breakfast?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so, I don't know, I guess for everybody who missed it because you were standing in line outside the stadium.
That hurts.
First play of the game, they kick it off to us, and we took it back for a touchdown. And breakfast morning, I was like, that went so poorly for them, they decided not to kick off ever again. They were like, we're done. We're not doing it anymore.
They didn't kick off the rest of the game.
They didn't. That was it for them.
Place kicker is got some proving to do next week.
Oh, my gosh. Bless their hearts.
14 seconds in. I
felt really bad for him.
Yeah, Donnell, we need to talk to you about that, because we look up at the clock, and it took you 14 seconds to get in the end zone, dude. I thought you were faster than that.
Yeah, I know you count hang time for the kid.
It doesn't clock doesn't start until he catches
So
the
there you
ball.
go.
Yeah. So come on, Donnell.
How could that have possibly taken 14 seconds?
Well, he had to cut back, so it wasn't a straight line.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, watch the highlight.
We love you, Donnell. We're just giving you grief because we
amazing.
can. So.
Well, Donnell, offensive player of the game. The Wiping Out Kids Cancer offensive player of the game.
He was.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he had 2 highlight reel, the touchdown, and then a pass, the catch in the end zone that was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Crisp was MVP, right?
Yeah, Don Crist was the defensive MVP, the Godfather.
Yeah.
Love it. They call him.
Yeah,
There was a lot of good going on
Oh yeah,
that side of the ball too. We'll
Yeah.
get into, and again, a lot of new faces, especially up front.
yeah.
New uniforms.
Offensive line looked very much in sync. All the execution was a lot more in sync than we're used to for first games.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no turnovers.
Nope.
You
Nope.
know,
we're
which
we're a
is-
+1. They had three turnovers, but one that actually, they recovered two. We got one. So
And that's a tribute to our great coaching staff. I mean, they really had them prepared.
yeah,
Great.
it's true.
And we'll talk about how we got the coaching staff prepared too. Here.
Allegedly superior.
This year's first game was exactly like last year's first game,
I mean,
but
they
just
played.
180 degrees.
On the opposite side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just 360 degrees.
That's
around,
all it
you know.
was.
We were in DeSoto's shoes.
It's all about geometry.
Well, now, wouldn't you have loved to have had DeSoto with this year's team and C.E. King with
As
this year's
opposed to
team?
last, yeah.
Well, not anything against last year's team, but they were just struggling a lot more. They didn't have the in sync, whatever
More like
mojo.
Backstreet Boys last year.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it.
Not in
I
sync.
like it.
For those of you who love 80s boys bands, there you go.
Hey, where's that book? We're gonna have to fill that thing into that.
Oh, man.
It's in the
Color him bad.
color.
Oh,
All right, it's time to call Coach Wig.
It was destiny.
See if he
Or
answers.
you are my
Destiny's Child.
you are my density.
Get that down.
Hello.
Hey, Coach.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
How are y'all?
Well, we're doing really well this morning. We had a lot of fun last night.
Good.
I hope you did.
We did. Yes.
We began to wonder if the fun was ever going to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those nights where, literally, for both teams, steamrolled, and one that just everything kept rolling the good way, and the other one that kept rolling the other way.
Yeah.
Like I know you don't listen to the podcast, but Cody just made a comment. He goes, they when they kicked off, it went so poorly for them, they decided not to do it the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So,
It did. It really looked like that and seemed like that. And that's how, that's how their coach felt. And we've all been on that side, where it gets going and you can't get out of it. But it was, our kids played hard and did some good things for sure.
well, and it's too bad, and I know you'll hear about this week because as being the assistant athletic director, there was a debacle getting a lot of people in the stadium, and they missed the opening kickoff. But that's the way to start a season right there. That was just
Yeah, my wife was telling me that when she was in line and she looked behind her and said it went all the way back, wrapping around out towards the baseball, softball field area. And sad. I looked up there, during the national anthem. I was like, golly, there's nobody in here.
Yeah.
That's the last time I ever look up, so I didn't know if they got there right after that or what. But yes, it was a great way to start. You're always, you're anxious about special teams because you don't get to simulate something like that. You prepare, but it's just hard to simulate the speed and execution of special teams early in the year, and what a great way to start.
Well, it was fantastic, and it just went up from there. It seems like everything. Y'all didn't punt last night. We were trying to evaluate your punter, and we didn't get to see him.
Yeah, that's true. We converted a lot of big third downs, kept some drives alive. Didn't really have that many offensive plays, as crazy as it sounds.
That's right.
It was just he I was visiting with him, and he said he had 3 of his starting D linemen out, which that if you have that, that's certainly going to make an impact on that side of the ball. I don't know, which ones they were, any of that, but I know that's what he said, and that makes it tough to stop. But we had some explosive runs, of course, some things through the air as well. But it was good, defense. They would put a couple of drives together here or there, and we'd find a way to get a stop there, whether it was right as they crossed midfield or as they got down the red zone. So it's really, and that's not, if we make it to the third round, that's not the same Midland Legacy team we'll see in the third round. But even still, it's against a team like that, to score every possession and to not let them score is a pretty neat feat this early in the year.
Yeah, very much so. You'd mentioned some of the drives they put together. I think their first 3 drives were 9 plays, leading to no points, 22 plays, and then 13 plays. So they were moving the ball. It's just when it came down to crunch time, our defense stepped up.
Yeah, they were, and that was, to be honest, that was a little frustrating. I felt like we should have been able to get off the field more, and just they kept converting against us. But the main objective is you keep them out of the end zone, and we were able to do that and get that big shutout, and that, a lot of kids got to get on the field and contribute to that and to the success in all 3 phases, really.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun as a fan, and you say you didn't look back up in the stadium. The stadium did fill up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We were talking. It took a little while, but it did, and we were talking about that was probably the biggest opening crowd we've seen in years.
Yeah, since the
Really?
since the 2012 opener, for the stadium, or reopening of the stadium against South Lake Carroll.
At least on the home side, obviously. They did.
Sure.
They brought what they could bring.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow,
the student
that's
section,
exciting.
gosh,
That's
student
exciting.
section, you guys should be really proud of the student section. They came in numbers.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think
That's
we
awesome.
did some good things for wiping out kids' cancer, so I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, that is good.
Well, there's a lot of different directions we could go here because there's so many positives to talk about. And a lot of what we noticed was there was a lot of new names making a lot of new plays last night. On both sides of the ball, and it was it's good to see as people graduate to see people step up. Your freshman receiver Josiah Johnson had a really good night, made some good catches, and on the defensive side of the ball, Don Christ, who was the defensive MVP, was all over the place. Your linebackers were very active.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of positives everywhere you looked.
There were, and when you're around these kids, of course, hours every day, you forget, the amount of, or you don't really factor in the amount of experience they had or their age, because when they're out there working, you don't get to send a memo to the other team and say, hey, go lighter on this kid because he's a freshman, or don't run at this kid because he's never played varsity football before. So you just see them as guys, which is what it is, and but the reality is there's a lot of them that was their first time on that stage, certainly playing a lot of significant snaps. So that was good, exciting. Again, in so many different areas, people stepping up, a lot of just really, really good efforts, without the ball on offense and then flying through the ball on defense. We're really making a big point of creating turnovers. Didn't do that at a high level last night, but there was a couple of times that we really were making an attempt at it, which that'll improve as much as we'll continue to work it. But there was it was neat to see a lot of those guys have success, because when you're here with them all the time, you see how hard they work and how much it means to them. But you can't write the end of the story for them. They've got to go out there and do it, and it's great to see them feel the success, kind of feel the benefit, the result of all that preparation.
I'm going to go a couple directions here. First of all, it was good to see you in mid-season form with the officials on the catch interference call that wasn't called. That was good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just disappointing because it was blatant to me, and the guy, on our side, he just said, "Hey, we got this." Well, I see no flag on the field, so just, that's a turnover. That's a huge moment in the game, and again, to me, it's not even a close debate. Well, ultimately, what happened is there was an inadvertent whistle I didn't hear, and I think it might have been I don't know the positions when you get into punt because they kind of rotate around, but the back judge who's back there by him, I think it's still him, but I think he might have had the inadvertent whistle, but he relayed over that I had kick-catch interference, but I didn't throw it because of the inadvertent whistle. So,
okay.
So that was
plays
the
dead,
interpretation, which is, and it was,
It's a good cover.
in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan just said that was a good cover.
Yeah, that ref is quick on his feet.
Yeah,
because I don't think
that's
anybody
really
heard
good,
a whistle.
That's a really, really good crew. I mean, they really are. That's, they were chosen real quick to get off the board in our draft and every week. So,
cool.
It was good to have them.
Yeah. And I already forgot I was going to say something else. Oh, I wanted to ask a question because, we got to spend some time with the kids Thursday night at the Connections deal, and just to talk to them a lot about their excitement for the game, and some of them even were like, we talked to them and they were like, well, I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm a little anxious, which was good to see. But we were talking yesterday after spending some time with the coaches about how amped up the coaches were ready for this.
Yeah. Well, again, you guys, y'all are around and see all the stuff that we do, and those guys, I'm talking about the coaches, they work so hard for so long. I mean, it's, yes, we're going to lift weights, and yes, we're going to practice the game of football, but that's just a little bit of what they do, and I'm not talking about the preparation for football. I'm talking about all the other things as a program that we take pride in doing, but it's exhausting, and then you throw in their primary job is to be a classroom teacher, and you do all those things, and for them, that they love the game of football, and they're equally as excited for that opening kick and the opening kick each Friday night as the kids are. So it's, we talk about, how proud and excited I am for the kids and them experiencing that success. It's the exact same for those coaches because, again, their work, it's a different kind of work, but they work just as hard, just as long as those kids do. And it's, seeing the joy on their face from the opening kick, and every coach who has a piece of that, you're seeing their kids that they've worked so hard on executing things and getting the coaches getting to go celebrate with them. And again, it was like last night was just the perfect storm of it being over and over. So, they were giddy and anxious before, and then thrilled throughout.
Yeah, the opening kickoff, when he took that back, just to watch everybody on the sideline, including the coaches, it was like, okay, perfect. We can breathe a little easier that, one, we didn't fumble the kickoff, or we're not starting at the 4, or it was.
Yeah.
Well, and how do you manage such a successful game like that? Because I'm sure you, as being, I'm not going to say perfectionist, but you see the flaws, you see what needs to be worked on. Kind of how do you approach that? You got to let them enjoy the win, but
and they did. They did last night.
You think?
That's how it is. I mean, that's just the reality. And we do home visits with our kids, and that message is discussed in home visits. That message is at the root of our program. Is there's not, again, I know everyone in America is listening to your podcast, and they well should, but we really stress, don't listen to any of that. Don't pay attention to any of that. When people are talking bad about you, this is not, we don't talk it on just this morning. This is a daily occurrence. So you hear negative, you hear bad, if you have to confront somebody, or if they're talking to your face, you say, I'm sorry you feel that way, and you walk away. If somebody's telling good things about you, you say, thank you, and you walk away. And because all those things are his words, and it doesn't matter if it's following a big win or following, what people would think in their eyes that a game you should have lost. All those words do, in our opinion, is take away from what we're trying to accomplish, because it gets us off our path, and our path is about a grind. Our path is we win that game, we celebrate that game, and when we show up the next morning when I'm talking to the kids here in about 15 minutes, it will be let's celebrate, let's clap for each other one more time, and then let's get to work, because we got a lot of stuff to fix. And there's the other piece of that is there's no part of our preparation, there's no part of our year-long program that was centered around beating Midland Legacy in week 1. that just doesn't come into discussion for us. It's not big in the big scheme of things to us.
Yeah.
To us, it has always been, we go in non-district play and we want to go compete to win because we're in an event. But bigger picture, it's for us to find out who are we going to be, what can we do well, what do we not do well, how do we improve on that, how do we start playing better when we get to district ball, how do we find a way to fight and scratch our way into the playoffs, and then how are we playing our best come week 11. And it's that's so that it'll be right back on that. So it'll with the inexperience of a lot of them, you have to spend a little more time on something like this of when people come up to you, you're going to have more of them now come up to you, and y'all are the best team that's ever played the game of football type stuff. And if you listen to that and hear that, then all of a sudden the next week you're the worst that's ever played because you're not getting better, you're not practicing with the same intensity, the same desire to improve on every aspect of your game. So it's a really big deal. But it would be the same if you won a game 21-20. We're going to celebrate that you found a way to win a tight game and all that. You're going to hear good things, but then it's same. In our kids, it's not hard, because they are used to the daily competition, the daily toughness, the daily hard work. They're used to all of that, and truly believe that the reason they do what they do on the field and do what they do off the field is for the opportunity to go play the game at a high level. And so you like them to be able to feel good. You like them to hear those things, but they will have no problem. I mean, if you drove by the facility here in a bit, you'll see them right back at it like they've never played a game.
Yep, good.
Nice.
Well, it's a good way to start. You have Cedar Hill coming in next week, who had a big win over Midlothian last night. So
yeah, they scrimmage sock. They scrimmage sock in their first scrimmage, and that wasn't able to be at that one, but just had heard that they looked really well in that scrimmage as well. And then I think Midlothian's really high on their team this year, and I know their offensive line is huge and dominant. And I have a buddy that's I coached with at Midlothian Heritage that is no longer coaching football, and he actually worked the game, and he said that Cedar Hill's D-line is huge. Well, if they were huge compared to Midlothian's offensive line, then they're gonna be a big unit, and I know incredibly fast. But it's again, that's why you schedule who you schedule. We got to see North Crowley in a scrimmage, and then you played two teams, one that went 3 rounds in Midland Legacy and 4 rounds in Cedar Hill. And back to like we were saying earlier, that's why you're playing them is to get those reps against playoff caliber teams, and try to get exploited on things and find a way to improve them before it really matters the following week.
Yep. Well, Coach, we appreciate y'all's time yesterday. Glad we could have breakfast together. That was fun.
Thank y'all so much. That's not only thank you for that, but thank you for again just the spirit you bring to all of Allen Eagle football.
Yeah, it's our
trying to keep up with Gonzo.
Yeah,
Oh my
no
gosh.
kidding. No kidding.
We wondered how he was going to burn off those 4 breakfast tacos, and man, you saw it.
all right, Coach. We've already got your college picks for this week. You're 0-1 just like everybody else because Georgia Tech upset us. So we'll see how that goes today. So have a good time with the kids. We look forward to next week, and congratulations on a big win last night.
Yeah, let them know we appreciate their efforts.
Congratulations to y'all as well. Enjoy it, and enjoy your week, and we'll see you next weekend.
All right,
All right,
Coach.
thanks.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. There he goes, Coach Wig.
Man, I wonder if he's planning to give up any points this year.
I don't know.
He's got a good start.
It's a great start. You look around the scores, and I haven't dug deep into it, but there were not a lot of shutouts.
No.
Anywhere of the teams that I did look at last night. So that and I was trying to remember when was the last time Allen pitched a shutout, and I didn't go back and look, but it's been a while, I think.
It has.
We'll
a
have that
shutout that dominating. I mean, we got used to it with the Plano schools. And we'll see here pretty soon how that works.
We'll go back and research that.
Doing it now.
Oh, Cody's going to do it. He'll have it.
Yeah, he'll have it shortly.
Yeah, so that's good. 61-0. Already. Total yards 530 for the Eagles. And he mentioned it, and we had already talked about it this morning.
Very even.
35 offensive plays.
Yeah.
When you think about that, that is not a lot.
No.
Normally you're talking 50, 60 on a success, especially a blowout like that.
Yep. 35 offensive plays, as James said, even. 270 passing, 260 rushing.
Beautiful.
You average 15 yards a play.
Yeah.
So, and you think about
passing or running.
Yeah.
Just dominating.
It's incredible. You did have 7 penalties. That's probably about
Something
average.
to work on.
Yeah. There were a couple of them, the I'm going to swim over you move
Yeah.
by Mr. Nicholson.
By somebody named 74.
He got a little rebuking on the sideline for that, but he was proving a point. You got the answer already?
I was just trying to swim away from that shark.
October of 2019.
So
Nice.
5 years ago.
McKinney Boyd 24-0.
Okay.
I think 24. Ooh. I guess Boyd. Okay. So 5 years. It's been 5
So
years
nice
since
shutout.
Allen's pitched a shutout.
Yeah.
No turnovers.
That
That's even
was
more better.
nice.
Yeah, you look at just the efficiency of the offense, and we'll talk. It seems like everything they ran, for the most part, sometimes you get 2 yards or you lose a yard, and then you come up on 3rd and 17, and you hand the ball off, and someone screams, "Well, that's a stupid play!" as they go for 20 yards.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
They go for 20 yards and a touchdown.
Seriously, you're going to run on
Who called that play? And then he goes, "Oh, it was a great call."
But and whether it was by design or not, Mackay was doing great on the running, split time, with Jaden, and just beautiful. So there was a lot of symmetry, a lot of split, spread, whatever.
Yep.
As far as time, the passing, we had 3 receivers that had 3 catches each, so that was all spread out. 6 total that were kind of in the numbers on the pass reception.
You got pass to G in the end zone where
man.
the defensive guy had his back turned and there was a ball. I mean,
And he was on it. He had it.
that's incredible.
The highlights from this game are going to be large. There's a lot of them, and that was a NFL type pass and
Yeah.
catch.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was where that lofted pass came in handy.
Yeah. Bricker, and there's been a lot of discussion on the chat board about Bricker.
Yeah.
And last year was Brady's first year as a starting quarterback at the varsity level. And there's growing pains to be associated with that. And he had his moments, and a lot of them were good, and he had a few that he wished he could have back. But he was 10 of 13 last night.
75, 76%. That's
4 touchdowns.
awesome.
So 40% of his passes went for touchdowns. And on the first series, if I remember correctly, that we had the ball after they were 3rd and 8 at their own 25, 27-yard line, and he threw a seam route to the freshman who we'll talk about, Josiah Johnson. It was a thing of beauty. There's a lot of improvement I think you're going to see at the quarterback position, and he played very well last night. Nate Wenger got in. Nate spent a lot of time this summer directing the 7-on-7 team.
Yep.
Played the majority of 7-on-7 as Brady was nursing an injury that he got corrected. But
And
Nate can spin the ball.
Nate the Great,
Yeah.
3 of 4, 75% completion there.
He
So
throws a great sparrow.
yeah,
He throws the ball well. You had 260 yards rushing, and we can talk about the depth at running back. I think it doesn't matter. At least in this game, it showed who was back there.
Who's back there? Yeah.
yeah.
Between
Some very, very tough runs, got out of trouble, and
very tough runs, and there's some speed back there. Mackay is deceptively quick.
oh gosh,
And his first 2, he had the first 2 touchdown runs after the opening kickoff. One was 35, one was 25, and he broke tackles at the line of scrimmage on both of them.
yeah.
Weaving in and out.
It's that second effort.
Off to the races.
I love it.
He went 5 for 70 last night. Hambrick led the team.
Yeah,
And I was
In
talking
yards,
to Alan and
yeah.
Cody on the way home. He's such a tough runner.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
that
yeah.
banger that
There was more than once where they had him locked down and he escaped. So
well, and in the fourth quarter, when he broke the long run, and he got to the end of it, and rather than just go down, he lowers his shoulder and he says, "Here I am." And you love seeing that because you're up, whatever, the 48, 55, whatever it was.
well, the players are totally bought in to the Allen. Welcome to Allen.
Yeah. So he goes 7 for 118. Mackay goes 5 for 70. Lyndon Spriggs, who had a long touchdown reception too,
20 yards per attempt.
2 for 40. I mean, it just, poor Gabe Lednick. He brought down everybody's rushing, numbers, but he got himself a touchdown, Dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good for Gabe.
They were all over him.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Like James said, you had a bunch of receivers with a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
Reed Nicholson, 3 for 87. Josiah Johnson,
25.67 yards per catch. Amazing.
yeah, we talked to him at the Connections meeting on Thursday night, and he's a freshman, and he's very humble.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
he wears number 84 for those of you who don't know who we're talking about. But he had the pass in the first quarter. He ended up having a touchdown where he got to the outside, and it was like, catch me if you can, and nobody could. So there's some speed in those legs as well. Carter Harris, who's just starting, he reminds me of Cole Carter, and that he's going to catch it if you get it to him.
Right. Right. If you put it in the area,
he made that one catch almost on his back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the highlight for that one will be a sliding catch.
Yeah. Brett Holloway has moved to wide receiver from the quarterback position.
Well, and I got to do a shout out here to Lyndon Spriggs in number 11. They ended up throwing a little inside curl 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he takes it to the house for a 69-yard touchdown pass.
Go.
That's going to make a quarterback look good.
Yep.
When you can dump it off 2 or 3 yards, a little shuttle pass, whatever it is, the effort after contact,
and
after
the vision,
getting the ball, it's amazing. After catch, yeah.
Because like you say, it was a very short pass, if not behind the line of scrimmage, and to work his way from, if I remember correctly, he caught it on the left, went back across the middle, weaved his way through everything, and then it was just another catch me if you can situation, where he goes 69 yards and
they couldn't.
They could. Exactly. And poor Donnell, he ended up being the offensive MVP, but he, on the receiving end, he only had one catch all night. But what a highlight reel catch that was.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We'll have that highlight for
a little
those of you that missed
6-yard pass to the corner of the end zone, yeah.
Again, a great throw by Bricker.
Yeah.
A wonderful acrobatic catch by Donnell, and he had his 2 touchdowns for the night. So, sometimes you can quote unquote be quiet and still make a big impact on the game. He started the game off, the way you love seeing.
Yep.
When you return the opening kickoff back 99 yards, and I don't even know if he was touched. I mean, I know he had some traffic at the beginning.
It didn't look like he was.
It was a
touched to
clean
me.
run.
Yeah.
He may have been touched, but it was just very, very briefly.
Yeah. And that's the way the game started, with Donnell going 99 yards. For those of you that missed that because you weren't in the stadium yet, we will have that highlight.
We feel bad for him.
Allen Eagles, fight!
I think they'll get that thing together. I mean, there was a lot of
we'll talk about that
questions.
when we get done, because it obviously isn't going to be like that every week.
But this is usually what happens when you leave the house, at 6:30.
Yeah,
Hey.
think, oh yeah, we'll just
I
go
agree.
right in.
Get here early.
There's part of that. So, game starts. He returns the kickoff for a touchdown. Midland League gets the ball. Midland Legacy.
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 Thanks, Randy.
Yeah, thank you, Randy Bridges.
Great
They-
Tuffy Tunes. If you haven't seen it for this week, check Facebook. Look for Tuffy Tunes.
They get down to the Eagle 25-yard line. Actually, they get down to 24. It's 4th and 1, and you get a stop.
And they get stuffed.
Get stuffed for a 1-yard loss. They take over.
Go defense.
Did y'all notice last night at all?
No.
I mean, looking across the stadium, everybody was like this.
Well, they had
Not once did they clap at one time at all, except maybe when they ran out of the tunnel.
They responded at that time when the helmet got ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, rowdy about that.
Yeah, and that was a total. I mean, that he didn't purposely do that.
No, poor Don.
Yeah, but that was cool.
He let himself know he's there. Yeah, they didn't have a lot to cheer about.
Oh my gosh,
Especially when you get the opening kickoff return for a touchdown.
that's when I wanted to have my binoculars so I
Takes
could
the
look at
air
the
out.
faces over there. It was
Yeah.
It's very
Portraits of
disheartening.
Pain.
Yeah.
Portraits of Pain.
Portraits of Pain. There you go. Isn't that a album name?
Should be.
I mean, everybody's undefeated sitting there,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden the guy runs it back, and you're like, oh, okay, let's go home.
What
Yeah.
was that famous Tyson line?
Yeah,
Till
go
you
home.
get punched in
Take
the
that 6-hour drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy that.
Yeah.
So Allen gets the ball at their own 25. They go 8 plays, 75 yards, capped off by a 35-yard touchdown run by Mekhi Ellis.
See ya. See ya.
They went for 2. It did not happen, and Thad's OCD kicked in because he can't stand having that 1 point off
Well,
the board.
they went for 2, and it's almost like the line
Didn't move.
didn't move.
Yeah.
And then, so
Right.
I think
Little
that had a
delay
lot to
action
do with
there.
it.
Yeah, they'll work on that. The timing was off on it because I think Dustin would have gotten in had
Yeah.
he had a little more blocking.
A lot of possession time, for Midland, and like we talked with Coach, they had a lot of long series.
Yeah.
What a 9-22-13, but then later on in the game they had a 19-play series
Yeah.
and no points.
No points.
Go defense, go Allen.
Yeah, their next series they went 9 plays, 10 yards, punted. Allen gets the ball back, goes 7 plays, 65 yards. Mekhi gets his second touchdown on the 25-yard run.
Go deep.
And it's 20-0, still in the first quarter. And actually, after we went up 14-0, all I could think of was, okay, they were up 14-0
Exactly.
Yeah.
in the
When's the
playoff
comeback?
game.
Yeah.
And
Don't let up.
They're not going to.
Don't take your foot
Yeah.
off the gas. Yeah.
And
Excuse me, 13-0.
excuse me.
Yeah, whatever.
What time are you going
That's
home?
for you, Thad.
Yeah, it's time for you to go home. So it's 20-0. Midland gets the ball. They go 6 plays, 11 yards. They punt again. Allen goes 10 plays, 78 yards. And that's when they have the touchdown pass to Linden for 69,
Beautiful.
which is wonderful. That play was started right in front of us, so we just watched him go down the field. And this is where you see Midland went 22 plays, 72 yards. They
Oh my
get
gosh.
down to the Allen 3-yard line, and it's 4th down.
And
of
they
course,
can't punch it in.
and of course, they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
And they have an incomplete pass on 4th down. Allen takes over. And that's when we start, everybody up on our row starts going, okay, how many plays is it going
Yeah.
to take to score? Because it
We
was,
resurrected the Kyler Murray era, guessing the number of plays per score.
and it only took them 4 because, and I don't know what happened on this play. I'd love to see the whole play.
Yeah.
If you could pull it, just because I want to see. Because Ricker went back to pass, and I look up, and I know we see 2, if not 3 receivers behind the secondary, 10 yards behind the secondary. And it's like, did everybody just talk about an
You
inadvertent
take
whistle?
it. No, you take it. No, you take it.
It's like, what happened? Because all their DBs were not covering anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, take your pick, Brady. And he hits his pal Reed Nicholson for 85 yards.
Yep.
And you're like, ooh, the route is on.
So it took them 4 plays, but what were the? How many plays did y'all say? 10.
No. I was saying 2 and 3 and
I think
4
I
plays.
said 5
to go 90-something yards.
Yeah,
It was that kind of night, man.
you didn't
Yeah.
have time. You only had a minute 36 or a minute 23.
We have a lot of confidence in our
There we
guys.
go. So that play was still strange to me. It's like, where is everybody? So that's right before half. So halftime
Yeah.
comes. Midland gets the ball. I should say Legacy gets the ball. Midland is actually a team too these days. It was 13 plays, 19 yards. They end up punting because they end up going backwards due to penalties. Allen gets the ball at the Midland Legacy 35-yard line on first down. Brady goes back to pass, hits Josiah Johnson out in the flat, and he turns the corner, and it's just like, okay,
See ya.
the freshman has some wheels.
Executes the plays. Go, go, go!
Touchdown, Allen. 34 yards from Brady.
Bye-bye.
He does.
And it's like, you can't catch him.
No.
And you're like, I love seeing that because there's a playmaker
Yeah.
in the works there.
Yeah.
And again, what you want to do is you want to get your playmakers the ball and do what you can.
Yeah.
That puts Allen up 41-0. And I thought the third quarter took forever.
Man.
Yeah.
We were hoping we were in the
Timeouts.
fourth and just imagining things.
I turned to Jackie and said, I'm almost tempted to just go on out and start tearing down that tailgate.
Because it was,
People were just leaving in droves.
it was, well, the band parents pulled their typical and bailed out, but it was, it just felt like the third. Maybe it's because we'd been out there since 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
The tiredness started to kick in, but
Yeah.
Legacy gets the ball. They go 5 plays, 19 yards. They fumble. I say it's fumble. It was 4th down. It was funny because I turned to Sherry and Thad and said, "Well, the only thing we haven't done tonight is block a punt." And the snap kind of rolled back to the punter. He couldn't control it. He tried to kick
Tried to
it.
cover it. Yeah, while he's on the ground.
He tried to kick it. Allen recovered. Midland, he's 6. On 2nd down, that's when Brady hits Donnell on that great pass.
Beautiful
catch.
fade route.
Yeah.
Like Romo to Dez.
48. That's a good analogy. 48-0. Legacy gets the ball. They go 5 plays, 6 yards. They punt. Allen gets it. Goes 12 plays. The longest drive of the night. 72 yards. A lot of this
Slacking.
was Jaden Hambrick and the Spriggs were in at that point. Nate was in at quarterback at that point. They benched Bricker because he had such a bad night. And Hambrick gets a 6-yard touchdown.
That'd be just like that Friday Night Lights movie where, they goes back in because the kid can't get his helmet. He gets hurt,
Yeah.
So, that was a good call.
Sometimes you gotta go with the flow.
Jaden Hambrick, who just will pound you. Love the kid. He's wearing Zeke's number. Cody goes, "Good job, Zeke." That's 90 wearing 21. That was cool. He
Very
scores
much.
on a 6-yard touchdown run. Makes it 55-0. And then Midland Legacy gets the ball back. Start of the 4th quarter. They go 19 plays.
Oh my gosh.
54 yards. And they turn it over on 4th down. Allen gets the ball. They go 8 plays, 79 yards. Hambrick had a 52-yard run. I want to talk about this one a little bit because we talked, I think, earlier just about at the end of the run.
Yeah.
It was like it was the first quarter, and he had 2 guys down there, and one of them cut him off, and he just lowered his shoulder right into that guy's chest and said, "I'm going through you."
Yeah.
Love seeing that at the end of a big, long run.
Mm-hmm.
And as we mentioned, then Gabe Lednick gets in and gets a touchdown, and it's so fun to see
Yes.
when guys that far down the depth chart get a chance to play and make a
Yeah.
play and watch everybody get so excited for them.
Very, very rewarding.
So
Yeah.
congrats, Gabe. you're in the stat sheet, brother, and you'll be there till eternity. You know, you're always going to be.
You just earned your letter. That's right.
Yeah, and that's Legacy got the ball back and didn't do anything with it. Final 61-0.
Yep, and I'm going to throw in a Coach Lee Wigginton a little what do you call it? Easter egg here. I will donate $100 to the charity of your choice if you text me. I hate bubble screens.
If you text me, everybody get your phone right now.
No. Coaches, it's got to be from Coach.
It's got to be from a coach?
No. Lee Wigginton.
Oh, you want Coach Wig?
Because he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Oh, he doesn't, yeah.
Standing offer or this week only?
He doesn't know how successful he could be if he did listen to this.
Oh.
You want to take it to that next level. I'm with you.
It's like we told Coach McCray yesterday. He goes, when we were talking about, if you have any problem calling plays, let us know because we know what plays you need to be running.
We're up there shouting them off every single time.
Yeah. What are you doing running on 3rd and 17?
That's crazy, idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite play of the game, which I know you're all curious about.
Drum roll.
Is it Major Miller?
Major Miller.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blocks the pass.
Comes in.
And then comes in and jumps and
almost
had it.
So close.
But it dribbled out. I thought that was just terrific.
That was
what effort.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Amazing effort.
I
one play.
I didn't see that till the end. Like, how did I miss that? What was I doing?
Dude, that was
that
was so close to being highlight reel 10 times over. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well, and that was cool because you looked on defense last night, and again, you looked at the front four, and they were all new starters, because you lost everybody up front last year, and so you've got Devin Palmer, you've got Joshua Shaw on the edge. Well, actually, Shaw didn't start. 33 did. Corbin Ramirez, he's got some wheels coming on the edge.
He does.
But Joshua Shaw was in there. I'm trying to think of who. 44 was. Chandler Bryant was on the inside. There's just a bunch of guys that you're like, okay, how are you going to perform? Because your back seven,
Hubba.
or 6, depending on what you're running.
Yeah.
Had all had experience. You've got a pretty experienced secondary now. You got a couple juniors back there on the corners. The Godfather Don Christ, who was MVP, playing that, I like to call it a rover position back there because he's everywhere. Sometimes he was blitzing, sometimes he was covering, and he'll hit you. He's a good solid size guy to have back in there. But you had a lot of guys just performing last night, and it was a lot of different names, and the defense had 5 sacks, pretty good pressure.
Very good pressure. Yeah.
And again, they're going to face a different animal this week in Cedar Hill, and so we'll see what that does. And I was texting Chris Cumnock last night during the game, and I was like, "This Legacy team really as good as you made them out to be?" He goes, "Hey," he said, the coach said that he loved this team and he thought they were going to be better. I said, "Well, I'll reserve my analysis of Allen then until next week because I'm not so sure this Legacy team is as good as and good for them. Their schedule, they play Trinity next week, and then they play Lake Travis or Westlake. I can't remember one of the two. Lake Travis the week after that.
Excuse me.
Westlake?
Lake
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's either Travis or
Lake
Westlake.
Worth?
They play one of the big
Levon?
dogs.
I think the coaches will have the team ready for next week.
Yeah,
They know that was in the past. We're going forward here, and I don't think
Travis.
it'll be a good game. Definitely a better game.
Travis.
Yeah,
Lake
But
Travis.
I think they'll be prepared.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Because they're gonna face a little more opposition than they did this week. I mean, I'm not saying Legacy laid down. I just think they were really overmatched. And like Coach said, even his top 3 defensive linemen were out, and that's do that to Allen, any team, and see what happens.
And you see what an Allen team that has had the proper time.
Yep.
because it is a full year program.
Yep.
And when you don't have a chance and you start kind of out of the gate, from behind, they've come a long way, and I like what I see: coordination, synchronization, positive. Family. As far as the team, I can't tell you. I had 3 or 4 conversations where they were talking about that. The kids were, so good for the coaching staff. If the kids are feeling like it's a family, it's going in the right direction.
Yep. I misspoke earlier. We're around the district last night. We can go real quick. Plano actually lost to Permian 13-10. I said they won. That was a game that was rain delayed. It started really late out there. Plano West loses. Plano East wins over Royce City.
Prosper lost.
Prosper lost to Westlake or Lake Travis.
Rock Hill lost.
Oh, did they lose? Okay, Rock Hill lost. McKinney lost.
Yeah.
McKinney Boyd won and scored 56
They
points.
crushed it.
56,
They
yeah.
crushed it.
Like, and Princeton actually won last night too. So
Wow.
it's they're
Welcome to 6A.
yeah.
Want to know.
Pretty good for a national school. What's
Let's
that?
stop.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I was just looking at some of the stats for Cedar Hill.
Yep.
And very tough running team. 332 yards. They had 486 total, so 154 passing, 332, and they've got some good runners. And he mentioned
They've
line
got
play.
3 offensive lines. They're brothers.
Oh
I
gosh.
know they're brothers. They're not brothers. There's 3 offensive linemen that have committed to Texas.
Yeah.
I think they are brothers. Something tells me they are. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're related. But they're they're supposedly big up front. And,
Yeah. And their prime running back, Deshaun Reese Williams, 12 attempts, 171 yards. That's 14.2. That's a
Sounds like
very successful runner.
Speed too.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. So we go back to our days of Joey McGuire and Cedar Hill.
There you go.
Loved to play Allen. Couldn't beat him, but he loved to play him. So
And it is tough. The first game, you blow somebody out.
yeah, and then you get to
In
thinking,
your mind,
yeah,
you're all that.
yep. You
Don't
got
think you have to.
Well, and that's what I like about what Lee was saying is like you got to go back in and act like you've never played before. And this week needs to be something different.
I like
Princeton
his,
actually lost.
Oh, they did. I thought they won
39-37.
wow.
to West Mesquite.
West Mesquite.
Oh, they lost. I thought it was final. Last time I looked, they were up 37-32.
Huh.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to 6A either way. But West Mesquite's a 5A school. So.
Bada bing, bada bing. Yeah. And
Awkward.
Rowlett lost.
Oh,
What?
Rowlett lost.
They lost.
well, bless their hearts. That's all you can say.
Maybe
just
next
get
maybe
some
next week.
offense.
Yeah. And our friends at Forney pull it out at the very end.
Maybe we could loan them some points. We had extra this week.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
We did.
Yeah.
I mean the Pittsburgh Steeler look is
Forney scores with 31 seconds left to beat Lake Highlands. So welcome to 6A. Congrats, Coach Fleener and the South Side down there for
yeah.
The new Prosper School won big.
They're playing a modified schedule, aren't they?
Yeah,
What's the name of it?
Walnut Grove,
Walnut Grove.
Yeah.
63-28 over Newman Smith.
Wow.
Oh, Newman Smith School for the Blind.
So Cedar Hill next week, 7 o'clock. Again, where are you going, bro? You're rolling away?
I lifted my feet up. That's what I mean about fat. This chair is fat.
It goes downhill.
Man,
Lovejoy
what the heck?
gets beat last night.
Lovejoy does get beat in Todd Dodge's
Legacy.
inaugural game.
There's
over
no
there.
tradition to protect.
So
Lojo.
he'll get that figured out. And again, I heard he's in a position over there where they don't have the upper tier quarterback that they've had in years past. So he may have some work to do there. But and they're in a tough district, with Melissa and Anna and Emerson's in that district. Yeah.
Well, he'll grow it. Once he gets that recruiting machine rolling.
Melissa plays tonight. That's going
Get
to be
some
good.
NIL deals in place.
Yeah, Melissa does play tonight. They play a team out of Arkansas that has won 2 state championships in a row. So it's not like they're going to have
That's
it
game
easy.
2 of the.
And Anna lost last night to a team from Tennessee.
Oh wow!
The Alito lost last night.
Geyer
Wow.
beats Alito.
Got
So that stops a 20,
Wow,
a
holy
20 game
mackerel.
win streak for Alito. So good for Geyer and their transfer quarterback, Kevin Speary, who used to be at Rock Hill.
Yeah.
Went to Oklahoma
Blue
for a
Pig.
year and then came back. So transfers everywhere, baby. They're just
Man.
all over the place. So it's an interesting night in Texas high school football. Well, speaking of surprises, the one score that really surprised me was Sock went down and played North Shore
Oh yeah.
and got shut out 38-0.
Whoa.
You know, and you're like, whoa. You know, that kind of
Oh, North Shore.
Only 38-0.
only 38.
Man,
Yeah, but they're supposed to be one of the favorites. But
Sock is?
yeah, in 5A. But again, but they schedule any. They'll play anybody. I think they play DeSoto again this year, and you know he does that on purpose. Gives
Yeah,
guys
5A DeSoto who opted to
move
go up.
and just,
Yeah.
who plays today against an out-of-state team. Duncanville plays today against an out-of-state team because
Okay.
again nobody will schedule them, so they got to do what they got to do. So next week, Cedar Hill, 7:00 at Eagle Stadium, and then the week after that, it's on to Prosper.
Yeah, for any of you fans out there, get there early, please.
You know,
I was just going to say that.
You know,
and
there's-
get there early, please.
Yeah, please.
it'll make your experience
so much better.
so much better.
We have to comment about the year we went down to Cedar Hill,
That's
and there was only one
One
metal detector on the visitor side,
Yeah,
and it was halftime before some of our fans got into the game.
yeah.
That was
yeah,
bad.
We
Brutal.
peeked over the edge of the stadium and you just see the line.
Going down the street.
It was and that night I actually volunteered with the band, so I got in with the band
Up on
And
the
so
north side of the stadium,
yes,
yeah.
So I missed all that a lot of y'all had to go through it, and they'll get it worked out, people. And I know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
easy to get on social media and complain. There's like 14 threads about it this morning,
Zip it.
and
I find that hard to believe.
yeah,
Is that Allen Eagle Nation?
it's everywhere.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So it's and there's a lot of some people can get their cameras in, some people can't get their cameras in because security has different rules at every gate you go to, and so they need to work all that out, and they will. And
Go to
I'm
the
sure
film
that
deck, huh?
the district will work on it.
Every time.
I'm not apologizing for the district. I'm just saying the district will work that out.
Just explain.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they better, or you won't have a crowd like you had last night. Because no one wants, especially and it was hot. 6 o'clock, 6:30 last night. It was
it started
standing
out
in that
hot.
sun. It was. You're standing outside because I heard that line was down to the softball fields.
Yeah.
Because the people sitting behind us were late getting in, and they said they were. I was like, oof.
Way back, yeah.
So
Well-
they'll get it figured out because they got to do something.
What they should have had was people down further in the line telling people how to prepare
Yep.
and get ready.
Yeah.
Because I was carrying my seats, and no, you can't carry those seats in. Okay, so I had to put them on the table.
We gotta check them.
It's not like
everything has to go on a table. Yeah, you can't carry anything.
But it's not like anything can be hidden in the seats
I know.
because
But
it
it'll
didn't
make
go
it-
through the detector.
Yeah, no. Well, like my wife, bless her heart, she has a heart monitor, and so
Yeah.
she can't go through. And they just let her go in. They didn't wander or anything. I'm like, well, now I know how to get anything in. I want to get in. Just give it to my wife, And
And have a pacemaker.
yeah. Well, a good win, 61-0. A good start to the season for Allen. A lot of positives, and hopefully we can roll that into next week as we take on Cedar Hill. Again, get there a little bit early to avoid the mess that was, and hopefully they'll have it a little cleaner and it won't be a mess next week. And
Yep. On the team's part and on our part, as fans, circumstances do not dictate our goal.
Congratulations to Chris Cumnock and the Wipeout Kids Cancer Foundation who had a
That's the
great
big
showing
winner.
last night. And
That's the big winner.
that was so cool to have that kid toss the coin.
Oh,
That
yeah.
just was like,
Yes.
Yeah,
you
he's
know, it
our
was
hero.
A thrill for him.
He's our hero of the night.
And that was cool that the ref said that too.
Yeah.
That was really
Buddy,
cool.
you're with us. You're our hero tonight.
Yeah, so that was really
Nice.
neat. And I know they have a game tonight in Melissa. If you're looking for something to do, drive up there and check out their new facilities.
Yeah, here the facilities are okay. They're not quite as good as the Crown
Yeah,
Jewel,
yeah.
but
But Melissa's
there can be more than one jewel.
Should be a pretty good game, and I know Chris is excited about that. So,
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
No, sir.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
guys for listening, and if you hadn't hit the subscribe button, do that. Also subscribe to the Old Coach's YouTube channel as he tries to. That's where the games will be broadcast going forward. So be sure and do that, and,
And be patient
Yep.
because, unlike in the past, it's not direct
Yeah.
The web, you got to, wait a little bit.
It'll work. So
be
until
there.
next week, guys, it's over. We are out.
To get in over here on the edge is all the way around here behind it.
What a move! What a move, Brinker!
Give me one of them Duprees.
Jaden Rogers sacked by number 15.
Go, go, go!
Oh, he's gone! He could go! Oh,
Pressure.
get him! Yeah!
Jaden Rogers sacked by number 30.
Go, Eagles!